Hello comrades, welcome back to Jacob's Custom Gunworks. Today I've got the CZ75 P-01 Omega on the table. This is the compact version. I was really hoping that we were doing a range video, but unfortunately it's cold as shit outside. It's about 33 degrees and we're forecast for snow, so yeah, we'll do a tabletop today. Anyway, I've had the CZ for quite a while now, and outside of the CZ82 and the handgun world of CZ, I didn't know much about it. I took this in as a trade when I was working in retail, and I kind of fell in love with it. It sat on the shelf for a while, and one day I picked it up, and I had it in my hand for quite a while, and I said, I'm taking this one home. So I did, and I have been very happy with it since. CZs are pretty unique. They actually ride inside of the frame instead of on the outside of the frame, which is pretty cool. So what I've done to this one is I did change the grips out. These are from Lock Grips, and they make very many different variations for the CZs, which is pretty nice. There were lock grips on here to begin with, but I switched these out, and it kind of gave me more of the God of War vibe. There is a lanyard here, or a lanyard hole here, which is kind of neat, you know. And the other thing is, I replaced the guide rod. The guide rods that come with these guns are typically plastic, and I wasn't really a fan of that, so I went with the metal one, and it's stainless, as you see there. Do have a nightstick flashlight on here, which I do like. It has been on a couple of different guns just to test it, but it's probably going to live on this gun for the time being. And the very last thing I've done with this gun is this little roll pin that's in here has been replaced with an aftermarket one. Apparently, the factory ones, if you dry fire the gun, which I very rarely dry fire this gun, over time they can break and they can bend and get nasty, so this aftermarket one is supposed to cure that. So I haven't noticed any damage with mine, but other than that, it's been an extremely well and very well liked by me. Excuse me, a little tongue-tied this morning. And very reliable gun for me. One of the things to know about these CZ guns is that they're generally made for NATO spec ammunition, and NATO spec ammunition is generally about 124 grain in the 9mm, and it's a little hot. So if you get one of these and you're running 115 and it's short cycling, that's probably your issue. Mine doesn't have any problem with 115 grain or 124 grain, just because I did buy it used and it was pretty broken at that point. 15 round mags, which I do have an extra mag. I just forgot to grab it for this video. This is cleared, by the way. This is just a safety. Some of these are a safety decocker, and this one's just a safety. So, of course, you push it up, and the gun's in safe. Pull it down. If it was the decocker version, of course, it would drop the hammer into a safe position. Single double action, which I really like. Single action I pulled here on my scale, and it was just about under 3 pounds. And then double action, which you would expect for double action, was right about 8 pounds, which is pretty nice. It does have a really generous slide release here. This is really easy to manipulate. I like that. There are 2 little notches here. There's a notch there and a notch right behind. There you go. There, you line those 2 up, and then you can slide your slide release out, almost like a 1911, and then disassemble the gun. It's actually really easy to disassemble. But yeah, I was really hoping to get a range video on this gun, but like I say, weather's being a pain in the ass. They do have almost like the HK style glow in the dark sights. You expose them to enough light and they'll glow. My plans with this gun, I have been really on the wall whether or not I want to suppress this, which would mean, of course, getting a threaded barrel and switching out the sights for suppressor sights. I don't know if I'm going to do that with this one, just because I really like how this gun is, and I can carry this gun if I choose to do so, and yeah, I may leave this the way that it is just because the way I like it the way it is, but I may decide to hell with it and get the suppressor sights and a threaded barrel. Threaded barrel is kind of a pain in the ass to find for these CZ compacts, but these are really, really good guns. And the biggest thing for me, biggest seller, is this is a metal gun. This is a metal frame gun, metal slide, and a world full of polymers, and a hammer fire gun. So I mean, it fit all the bills, and it's light enough in a metal frame that I really enjoy this gun. But anyway, that is what I got for you today. Until next time, comrades.